Hi everyone, David A. Cox here with PCClassesOnline.com, and today I'm going to be teaching you how you can create your own iPhone ringtone. Now, you do not need any special software to be able to do this. You can do this on any Mac or PC for that matter. All you're going to need is iTunes and, of course, a song that you're going to have to use to create the ringtone. Now, we taught this class live earlier today, and we had people tuning in from all over the globe. Our classes, if you've never heard of us before, are completely free. We're a free public service. You can find out everything, of course, on our website at PCClassesOnline.com. Now, let's get to the class. Hello everyone and welcome. David A. Cox here, and today we're talking about how to create your own iPhone ringtone. We are live right now, so let's get started. You know, a lot of people out there think that in order to create your own unique ringtone, you need some sort of special software. There's a lot of apps in the App Store that, show you how to do this. But the thing is that, first of all, it's 10 times more steps than you need to take. You have to integrate it, go back and forth between your phone and iTunes. You don't need that. Everything that you need to do this comes with your computer. We have people tuning in right now. I presume a lot of you are on Mac computers. We tend to attract that crowd primarily. But you can do this on any computer, whether you're on a Mac or a PC. So I'm going to show you it. All you actually need to do this is iTunes. Now, one of the things I always love to do in our classes is I try to go a little bit beyond what maybe someone else might teach in showing you how to do this. So there are certain questions and issues someone might encounter when doing this kind of a thing, and I want to tackle two of them in this class. So I'm going to go over how to increase the volume, because some people, the song that they want, it's a little too low, and even when you put the volume up to max on your iPhone, it's still not quite loud enough. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Someone also here during the live class asked a question regarding copyright issues. So the whole thing with this, first of all, I am not a lawyer. I am not giving any of you legal advice, but why would a music studio come after you because you created a ringtone out of a song that you purchased? I don't see any risk in doing this. Legally, are you supposed to? I can't give you that advice. I don't see why there would be a problem with it, but hey, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a tech guy. So let's get started here. Now, you can do this with any song, and all you need to do is actually have that song in iTunes. So if it's a song that you have downloaded off the internet, you do need to drag that file into iTunes so that you can use it here for this purpose. But once you've done that, you're pretty much good to go. So here we have a bunch of music that I just kind of store in the computer that I use for teaching purposes. So let's just find one. Let's use, everyone loves Fun, that summer song from last year, Some Nights. We'll do that. And so to do this, make sure you have the song in iTunes. Now, there's a total of really 3 primary steps in doing this, but again, I'm going to show you a few other things here in the process. So the first thing that you're going to need to do, and I'm going to go over how to do this both on a Mac and a PC. Mac users, you are going to secondary click on the song that you want to use. Now, for some of you who are on a laptop, that's going to mean clicking with 2 fingers present on your trackpad. If you're on a desktop, you can hold the Control key and click. PC users, you have a right click, so just right click on that file. And down here, you'll see in sort of this second grouping, we have this thing here called Get Info, and we're going to click on that. When you click on Get Info, this is all of what's called the metadata behind the song. It's where the song knows the name of the song, who produced it, etc., the group. So if you go through these tabs here, for example, here in Info, if you ever need to rename a song, or if there's some piece of information that's wrong, this is where you're going to go to modify it. So if the artist name is wrong, you could type in the correct name and it'll appear there in iTunes. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to go here into Options. Now, the first thing I just made a reference to was how to increase the volume. That is right here. You're not going to hear this right off the bat, but in the second step in this process is where you're going to hear the volume sounds a lot louder than it used to be. So I'll do that just a little bit to this song. So you can increase it. None means it's just the way the song came. If you want to make it a little bit louder, you can do that here. Now, the rule in creating a ringtone is the file size cannot exceed 30 seconds. And keep in mind, if you have it be, let's say, only 10 seconds, if the phone keeps ringing, it's just going to repeat the ringtone, just like it would if you were using one of the stock sounds that comes with your phone. So what we're going to do is go down here and you'll see we have a start time and a stop time. A lot of people here are going to probably start at the beginning, but not necessarily everyone. So let's say if I did not want that to be the case, let's say I want the song, the ringtone to cut in at 31 seconds, I would change this from 0:00 to 0:31. So you can manually override the start time and stop time. So we're going to just keep that the way it is. Because I am not modifying it, I don't need to check the box next to it. But here under stop time, what we're going to do is we're going to change this time code, okay? So the first number here is minutes, seconds, and then milliseconds. So I'm going to change this to 0 minutes, and we're going to change it to exactly 30 seconds. Okay? And when you're done and you have whatever portion you want, like I said, it doesn't have to be 30 seconds exactly. It can be less than that. It just can't exceed it. When you're done, hit OK. So now it's going to appear, wait a minute, nothing's happened. Well, nothing's happened yet because we now have to create a new version of this song. Step number 2 is we have to convert this file to an AAC file. Now, depending on how your computer is configured and where you live in the world, this part could be ever so slightly different. So what we're going to do is we're going to once again secondary click, or PC users right click on that same song, okay? And this time you're going to go down here and you see where it says create AAC version. We're going to click on that. Now for some of you out there, again, depending on how it's configured, that might say MP3 version. It could say a couple of different things. Whatever it is, just click on it. So what that's going to do, you'll notice that on my copy of iTunes right here, everything is being organized by the date added. I do recommend that for this purpose. If you ever need to change the order, just click on the sort method. So if you wanted to ever switch it up to sort by album, you click on album. If you want to click on date added, click on that. So now if I scroll to the very top, there's this new version of Some Nights by Fun, which is exactly 30 seconds. That's step 2. Step 3 is now we have to convert this file into an M4R file. It's just basically the format that when iTunes sees an M4R file, it knows what it's there to do. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to kind of drag iTunes off here to the side so that you can see this a little bit better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click and drag that song from iTunes onto my desktop, just temporarily. Okay? And now what we're going to do is so that we don't get anything mixed up here, I'm actually going to go back into iTunes and I'm going to delete this file because we don't need it anymore. Just know that if you do delete this, if you haven't already duplicated it, you're now deleting the song, so be aware of that. So we're going to move that file to the trash. And now here on the desktop, sorry, accidentally hit the play button there. Now here on the desktop we have the name of the track, and you'll notice at the end of it it says M4A. We need to modify that. So you may have noticed before, if you double click on a file right away, it opens, but if you double click slowly, you can rename it. So right now, I'm not on the file. I click on it, it's highlighted. I click again, and see how the text there turns light blue? Well, anytime text is light blue, you can change it. So I'm just going to rename this file M4R. Oops, sorry, R. So it doesn't matter the name of the track. I'll actually get rid of that 02 just to keep it simple. So it's now called somenights.m4r. When you're done with that process, you're going to hit the Enter or Return key, and you should get this. A little pop-up that says, are you sure you want to change the extension from M4A to M4R? Despite the fact that this one is in blue, you want to actually click on this one. Yes, you want it to use M4R. Because as soon as iTunes recognizes that file, it knows where it's supposed to go. So now all we have to do is check this out. We're going to drag that file and drop it back into iTunes. And you'll notice nothing happened. That's because it's now here. Now, if you don't see in iTunes a little thing here on the side that's called tones, I want to show you. Oops, sorry about that. Let me redo that part here. Go back. M4R, into iTunes. Okay, so that's there. If you do not see tones here on the left-hand side, here is what you're going to do. I try to advise everyone about this. I've mentioned this when we've gone over iTunes in the past. If you don't see this sidebar over here, in my own personal opinion, I greatly disagreed with Apple when they came out with the new version of iTunes and this feature was hidden. It is actually still there. So if you're viewing this and you think, oh God, I must have an old version or a new version, it looks different, don't worry about it. All you have to do is go up here to View, and here on mine where it says hide sidebar. In your case, it should say show sidebar. Make sure you click on that. It's just so much easier to navigate iTunes just by adding that one little hidden feature back. If you do that and you still don't see tones over here on the right-hand side, here's what you're going to do. Go into iTunes, where it says iTunes at the top left. Go into Preferences, and if you notice right here, it says Tones. So make sure that is selected, hit OK, and you're good to go. So now the final step is really just plugging your phone into your computer. And you know when you plug in your phone, it shows up over here on the side, and you have all those little tabs at the top. It says music, photos, videos, podcasts, etc. One of them is going to be tones, and just tell it to sync all. And that's it. That's how you do it. So that's how you create your own ringtone. You do not need to pay for any software to be able to do this. So what I'm going to do right now is, for the people who are here live, I told them all that this class was going to be shorter than one of our normal classes. I'm going to stick around for a while and answer their questions if they have any. For those of you who are watching us right now on YouTube, a really easy way that you can support us is just to simply click that little like button. We, of course, appreciate that. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to consider it, you can join our service. It's completely free, pcclassesonline.com. That's all, everyone. Take care.